Wages World here. It is April 5th, 2020. And yeah, coming at you with the video here. Okay, guys, I got you over here to Schumann resonance. For those who don't know what that is, it's the frequency of the Earth. The normal number there, the normal Hertz level, which is how they measure this, would be 7.83. Now, I'm not going to go and repeat myself because I've done it a lot talking about this right now. For those that don't know, just research Schumann resonance and you'll get all the information you ever wanted on it. All you got to do is Google it. There's so many studies. Okay, and I will say this, it's directly related to crime rate and mental health problems. Okay, suicides go up, crime rate goes up, just that kind of thing where people aren't acting right. So they pump this into the ISS and any spacecraft that is gone for any length of time. Okay, and also people that work underground. Now, what I'm talking about with this one, here's that wave signature I showed you guys. Remember? And I got some more stuff here to talk about with that. But we are having a bigger, longer spike right now. I got a more recent capture I'll show you here in a second. But we're gonna talk about this for a second, okay? Now, when I first seen this, obviously I had never seen anything like this on this tool, ever. Okay, you're seeing these wavy lines like I said before. Now, if you look real close, it actually started back here. Okay, you can see the lines are kind of wavy here. So, when I looked at this and then I seen it was missing data right here. That black line means the tool wasn't working. There was no data there at all. Okay, and then this big spike happened right as that happened, right? So at first my mind went straight to, hey man, that's too many things happening all at once. It's got to be something that is legit, right? And maybe it ain't a tool flaw. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Well, after looking at this again, giving myself some time to kind of think about this, I try to look at things in all different angles, just so I can, have at least a little bit of an open mind to be able to accept something different or something that I don't think it actually is. If I need corrected, I need corrected. And I think I kind of corrected myself this time because I'm kind of leaning to what I'm getting ready to say here. Now, pretend that you were at home and you were doing something on your computer, okay? And then all of a sudden it locked up on you. Okay, you couldn't control alt delete. You couldn't do all the typical stuff we try to do to get the computer to do right? So what do you do when that happens? Most of us are going to hit the power button and reboot the computer. Okay, because it's really for those people that are lazy like me. That's what I would do, just to see when it booted back up if it would be okay. And guess what? About 9 out of 10 times when you do that, it fixes the problem. It goes away. Now, it might come back, but, at first it's working, right? So what I'm saying here is that if you look at this and you think about this for a second, if this is a tool flaw and it started messing up back here, and then whoever is running this tool seen it start screwing up, so they're going to want to try to fix it, right? Well, what they did, in my opinion, is they shut it down, just like we do our computers. Okay, just for that small length of time. And then what makes me think that that's probably what happened is, after that reboot, is what I'm calling it, the waves went away. There's no more waves. Why did it just abruptly stop right there? Because back here, it was slowly coming into it. You got to look real close, but you might not be able to see it too well here. But it was actually back here, real soft, okay? And it got more intense, obviously. So why did it was real intense and then it just stopped. And then it didn't come back. So, that's kind of why I'm thinking that this is a tool flaw. It probably is, in my opinion. Okay, now that doesn't take away from the fact that this was a spike, okay? And that is a longer duration spike than what we normally would see. It was like 8 hours, I think, 8 or 9 hours. Something like that, maybe even longer. So, I just wanted to put that correction out there, at least in my opinion, it's a correction because, I was thinking before that just probably wasn't a tool flaw. Now, I want to say this too. Now that they've rebooted it, if that's what they did, this dash line is still there. So you would think that if they did that and rebooted their tool back up, why are they still getting these dash lines? So that kind of even gives a little bit more validity to that. Might be something we need to be looking more into. But for right now, we're getting this spike here. So this is the most recent capture. All right, it's still ongoing, okay? And we're at 24 hours right now. So, yeah, that's a long event, guys, okay? Now, about a year ago, we had months, like 2 or 3 months in a row, right around this time of year, that there was a 24-hour event almost to the hour. It would start and stop right on the hour, 3 months in a row. And I did some videos on that. Now, I haven't went back and looked and see what the dates are on those, but I'm going to, because I think that this may be starting to do it again. And if that's the case, then probably what's happening here is, because of our position in space, we're in the same spot as we were last year, obviously. That might have something to do with this. Okay, whatever alignment's going on, whatever position we are according to the sun, or whatever, right? Something there is being repeated, is what I'm trying to say. So, whatever that is. Now, again, I can't say that for sure, but this right here, if you look at it, this is almost a 24-hour event, okay? It's almost a full day. Now, I'm going to keep watching it, but it looks like it might be dying off. If that's the case, then this was a 24-hour event. So, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you guys know. But just know, if you guys are having ringing in your ears, if you're having, just being anxious, heart palpitations, a whole host of things, it's kind of hard to tell with all the other stuff that's going on in the world right now. So, but do take this in consideration, okay? So I just want to bring that part to you. Okay, guys, let me touch on this too. Again, guys, the video I did last night, I was showing you guys this little solar flare, okay? And that's what I was saying in my last video. It was little, but we needed to talk about it because it's showing that the sun is actually starting to wake back up. That, and coupled with the fact that that sunspot is from the new solar cycle. Okay? So that means that we're probably getting ready to start the uptick back to solar maximum. Okay? And it takes years to get there, guys. Okay? It's an 11-year process to go from bottom to top, back to bottom. Or if you want to look at it from top to bottom to top. Either way, okay, it's an 11-year cycle. Right around. So, but somebody else finally reported on it too. Okay, this is spaceweather.com. This is a big puny solar flare, and basically they're saying exactly what I said. It's not that big of a deal because it didn't really have an effect on us, but it is kind of a big deal because it's showing us that, hey, we might be going back into a more active time on the sun. And I do look for that to happen. I mean, because look here, look at this, okay? These are this graph over here is the days without sunspots. Okay, and they put percentages on it. And so you can literally see the 11-year cycle just by doing this. Okay? They got graphs and all kinds of graphs and stuff on this, charts. All the information going back, decades. Okay? So what I'm saying is that if we truly are, because right here in 2019, that should have been the last year of solar, like a grand solar minimum type of stuff. And then we're probably going to start seeing that uptick. Okay. We won't be able to know for sure until obviously the year's over. But if you look down here during the last solar cycle, you can see how we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You could even go up here to 9% and even to the 14 of. So that's 6, roughly about half of that was not very active. So it's going to be a slow increase. It's not going to be something that we wake up tomorrow and there's 5 sunspots on the Earth-facing side. Okay? So that's what I want to point out. But you can literally see the solar cycle just by doing that. Now, I don't think that that was intentional that they did it that way. It's just the way the font ended up being. So, but that does show it. And, you know, you can just simply Google sun cycle, and you'll get bombarded with articles and information and stuff on that. So, but I did think it was, you know, somebody else besides me actually reported on that. And I showed it to you guys yesterday, and it did. It showed up on the ultraviolet light, and that's where I actually seen it. Because like I was telling you guys yesterday, I didn't really see it anywhere else first. But, okay, and then this, guys. You know, between April 21st and 22nd, we're going to be at the peak of the Lyrid meteor shower. Okay, we're already, I think we're already getting some of it. But when we get to the peak of this, April 21st to the 22nd, they're saying it'd be about 15 meteors per hour. You know, it's going to be best viewed up here in the northern hemisphere. So it can be pretty cool to go outside and watch it. But yeah, so if you see those kinds of things, we are expected to be into a meteor shower. Now, it doesn't discount stuff that's way off the chart big or whatever, okay? And like I said, this was debris from a comet that we're going through. So, you know, that is what it is. They can predict those kinds of things just by when these comets pass, and, you know, they can see what it's leaving behind. So they know when we're going to come back through that area of space again and go through it. This is something that happens every year, okay? So, excuse me. But yeah, guys, so there's that. Now, also, we had another CME, and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, guys, here's that CME I was telling you about. Now, Earth is here. The camera's there. Okay, it's on the satellite called SOHO. This is LASCO C2. So this is our point of view. So judging by this, it looks like this is going to the left, right? And the big question is this thing going to affect us? Is it going to hit us in some sort of way or not? That's usually the first question we ask, because in our minds, that's probably the most important. Is it going to affect us, right? Now, what I want to say is that how to tell direction, we can't tell if it's going this way or directly off to the left. It's all going to look like it's going to the left. All right? And the reason why is this is a two-dimensional model trying to represent a three-dimensional thing. Okay? We don't get the depth perception because of the two dimensions. All right? So what do we do? How do we figure this out? What direction is it going? Well, we got to go look at a different satellite. Okay? We got to have a different perspective. Right? So from this vantage point is here. Okay, so Stereo A is another satellite that's out there. It's over here. So if we go look at that, we should be able to get a general idea of what direction. Okay, because again, you know, it could be going here, it could be going here, or it could be coming right at Stereo A. We don't know yet. So we'll go over here and look. And by the way, that CME, here, I'll take you back to it real quick. You get like three little pulses. You got one there, and then be a second one there, and then you get the bigger one. Okay, now those are all three probably going to be considered all the same CME, but to me and you, there's going to be enough lag time there to kind of differentiate. But for their purposes, I think they just usually classify that as one CME. I could be wrong, but anyway, we want to figure out what direction it's going, right? So let's go over here to Stereo A. And this is not really what I wanted to see, okay? Because I was hoping when I got over here that the ejection would be showing up over here, coming off this direction, right? And the reason why is because, again, this is Stereo A's viewpoint. The Earth is here. So if it was this way, it would be going completely away from us. And even if it was going directly at Stereo A, it wouldn't really bother us either. What we were concerned with is if it was going this way. And I can tell you that it looks like it might be. Now, we don't know how far north and south it's going, like up and down. We can't tell yet. All right, we don't have enough data. But you can see it getting bright right here. So at this point, I'm going to give you a maybe, okay? Because, you know, if I had to like give you a definite right now, it would be, hey, we're going to get a glancing blow. Because that's what it looks like, the initial. Now, we have to wait on the data to come in to really get a good grasp on this. Now, another way to do it, we can go to SDO and look at it and try to see what we can see there. But we're missing like almost a whole day's worth of data. And we're not missing it from the websites. This is missing it from the source, because all the websites are missing the same data. If it was a website issue, then it would just be on the one. I went and checked a couple different ones here, and you can't get any of that data. It's gone. It's not there. So there's that, guys. You know, again, is this going to be a big deal? Probably not. But it still is another thing to point towards, hey, the sun might be waking up a little bit here. Now, I got something else I'm going to show you real quick, too. All right, guys, I got you over at the Space Weather Prediction Center. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but geomagnetic activity, okay? We kind of come off the basement floor here a little bit. We don't want to be low, okay? If we're really low, cosmic rays get in. And that's bad for people that fly, especially higher towards the North and South Pole. It's just added radiation. And they actually, you know, when we're low on geomagnetic activity, they issue cosmic ray alerts for cabin crew and for prenatal passengers. So it is a serious thing people need to take more serious, and they don't usually. So, but we got to pay attention to that. We want to be right in the middle, like I said 100 times before. But right here, okay, this is the Enlil model. Now the green line over here is Earth, okay? So they're expecting us to have some sort of an uptick in solar wind speed. And then, you know, on the other end of that, they're expecting us to have a low density here also, as that's happening. Those are reacting exactly how we would expect them to. When one goes up, the other one goes down. When one goes down, the other one goes up. Unless, okay, something's going on and then they can both go up at the same time. And when we get hit from like a solar wind stream that is moving fast and has a lot of density with it, that's when we take the bigger hits, okay? Plus, you know, CMEs and solar flares, they all add to all that. So, but what I find interesting here, guys, is, you know, this. That's a strange looking signature. And if you follow it through, it's kind of like this. So, you know, what happened? You know, I don't know. This was 2 days ago, okay? This model tries to predict 5 days out in advance, and it gives you 2 days of historic data. Now, I don't trust this thing 5 days out. The most I go out is 1 or 2 days off of this model. Because, you know, it's like your weather on the 8s on the Weather Channel. You watch it, and then you leave the house or go outside and forget your keys. You come back in, you turn the TV back on real quick, or you overhear the very next weather report, and they've changed everything. Okay? So you can imagine how hard that would be to try to predict space weather. So they have to change these things. I get it. But, you know, at some level they need to, you know, just understand that you really can't trust it 5 days out. It always changes. So those are the kind of events we're looking at here according to this model. Now, again, this is a side view. Okay? So this is a really strange signature. I don't know that I've seen a signature like that before. Not that it is something crazy or anything. I don't know. But obviously this one here kind of mirrors it. Okay, and the reason why it mirrors it is because it's the same exact time. This is just showing you solar wind speed. And this up here is showing you the density of that solar wind. So, now I was looking at the ACE over here. Okay, now something just like grabbed my eye immediately. You know what it was? You see the density here, where's it at? There's nothing there. Okay, not there. Now you scroll on over, and you see a little bit of little data entries. Okay, but so I zoomed out, and look what I seen. I don't know if this is a tool flaw or what, but there's your orange line down here. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, wow. I know we're getting low density, and I've seen it get really, really low, but that right there would be like zero. I mean, nothing. But, you know, so I don't know what's actually going on there, but I did want you guys to see that. That was kind of crazy. And something else here, too. Let me show you this real quick. Remember yesterday I showed you guys the SDO captures right here of the sun, and that sunspot was shining through where it went black? Because it wasn't expected to be a eclipse that day, okay? Scott even double-checked me. I asked him to double-check me to make sure that I was looking at the right thing. And he said, yeah, he said he didn't see anything, you know, where there was going to be an eclipse. So I get over here, and today, and I'll show you what I seen, okay? I'll hit play, watch. Same thing. So, I don't know what's going on here. It does look like it went from the same direction as yesterday. Okay, it started getting dark over here, and it kind of went this way in one or two captures and then came right back. So, you know, I ain't going to put a whole lot of stock into this thing yet because it most definitely could be a camera issue. If you go look at the one from yesterday, it looks like it might have been like double exposed, but the fact that the sunspot was shining through where it was black was kind of, yeah, that's what threw me, okay? But then to get on here today and see this, okay, yeah. And you can tell how it don't just, the whole thing goes black. It doesn't. Okay? Because we can back that up right there. We can go forward. Well, let me do this. Not there. I don't want to waste your guys' time. But anyway, that's doing that. And I really don't know why. So, and as far as the global illness, yeah, guys, stuff is still happening. I'm not really going to report on it because you guys probably already know all about it. I mean, it's everywhere. Now, again, I would point you to a couple of the videos that Scott has done lately because there's a lot of good information there. Go over and check out his website too because he puts articles over there on that thing that there's no way he could even talk about here. Yeah, so, but anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.